instrumental to Met Oval's successful season. The front three, Balti Saunders, who's Met Oval's top scorer this campaign on 4 goals. He'll be on the right side. On the left, Andrea Di Blasio, who has 3 goals to his name. And leading the line, the new signing, the sensation, the Ukrainian Sasha Oleshko, who scored 3 goals in 3 League for Club games. And for Monmouth, we're expecting to have Grossman in goal, Joyce and Sandlocher, the centre backs. Parks will be the right back, Longo left back, Homowicz and Aria in front of that back 4, Caputo in the number 10 position. The danger man really to watch out for, Lenny Alvarez, will be on the right side. He scored 6 goals this season in the League for Clubs, one of the top scorers in the conference. And he scored in the previous meeting between these sides. On the left flank will be Andres Lazo, and leading the line, Sam Tinoco. And our officials today will be Esjik Jamil, and he's assisted by German Garcia, Diana Pavatos, and the 4th is official is Sadi Masawi. Cast Villa wearing the armband for Met Oval once again. He's an incoming freshman at Queen's College, plays with great maturity for a young man of his age. A leader in many respects and a fantastic player. And Monmouth's skippers today, just having a quick look at who's wearing numbers. It looks like Aria and Lenny Aviles, but we just confirmed that. I think Lenny Aviles is definitely one of them. And like I said, he's been one of the standout players. And he's a Red Bulls Academy product, rising sophomore at Rutgers. Something to note about this Monmouth side as well is they've been superb in defence. Just 6 goals conceded in 9 games, 4 clean sheets. But Met Oval have been prolific at home. 19 home goals for Met Oval. It's a baking hot day here in Queens. We're sitting about 86. There was periods of clouds in the morning, but they are not present currently. So it's a hot one. We'll see if the players get a hydration break. And today's broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic, and also Met Oval would like to thank their sponsor, La Casita Mexicano, the best Mexican restaurant north of the border. You can mention Met Oval to get 5% off your next visit. And Met Oval also would like to thank Positive Sports Therapy, where champions end pain and get their life back. Mention Met Oval for 15% off your next visit. Sam Tinoco will kick us off here alongside Aria. What a treat we're in for, ladies and gentlemen. The top 2 sides in the League for Clubs Northeast Conference battling it out on the final day of regular season for the top seed going into the playoffs. And the playoffs will follow this next week. I was told by Coach Burklow to expect them on Wednesday, the semis, and then the final will be next weekend. Driven up long by Bernard, and Olashenko going in, and he's gone down. The referee took a look at it. He felt as if Oleshko went down easily. Early mix-up at the back for Monmouth. It was an awkward ball over the top. Sadlocha had an awkward touch and Grossman not expecting it. Ariate with the first header. Commanding leap by Joyce. It's a tight pitch here at the Oval. It's going to be fast-tempoed, physical, but also very technical with the talent on display. Lazo, cut out by Gonzalez, comes on the edge. And it looked like it took a deflection, nothing doing. It was Longo, the left back, who'd ventured up and had the swing. Good chance at either end already. Gonzalez. That's a very attacking shape. Kirch Birklow plays the 3-4-3. And Met Oval are content to play out the back. Often teams come in and try and press them, and you end up with a 3-on-3, 4-on-4 on the edge of Met Oval's own penalty area with Met Oval in possession. But the players are good enough and drilled enough that they generally can play out of it. And once they do break that press, they create overloads in that final third. And interesting to see there, Monmouth not opting to press as hard against Met Oval, perhaps aware that it's rather taking the bait at times if you do that. Mind you, we have seen Met Oval once or twice at home concede goals. We're playing out the back poorly. Here's Avalos skipping forwards. The idea was there, but the run not from Tanoko. And FC Monmouth have brought a vocal supporter section. That came off of the back there of Joyce. Olesko will let it run out. Saunders. TJ Bernard. Worked inside by de Blasio, and then it's Bernhard. It's sweeping football. It's Saunders. The final pass off. Mesmerising stuff by Met Oval. Once the combinations start going, it's hard to keep up. Ariate. This man Kasha, like Xavier and Iniesta in the middle of the park. Low centre of gravity, twist and turn. Kasha, only 19 years old. It has a great footballing IQ. The referee again not blowing his whistle. That one's sent in. Joyce with the first header. De Blasio. Not a great pass out to Carlos Villa. TJ Bernard. Something to mention is Met Oval haven't always had the best starts at home. 3 out of the 4 games they've had here in the league for clubs, they conceded the first goal, but they've always found a way back. Gonzalez. Ariate. Pass Villa too heavy with this pass to de Blasio. Held down the line by Parks. Big throw on him. Bagnato will go all the way back to Grossman. Now you can see Monmouth more eager in the press. Christo Delau opting to go long. Longo down the channel. Met Oval yielding it back over for themselves. Bagnato. Bernard, and the sun has just gone in for a second behind the clouds, mercifully for the players. That's a loose pass. Fortunate it didn't find its way to Caputo. Bernhard. De Blasio. Villa lost his footing at the key moment. Met Oval having most of the possession early on here. Bagnato tussling with Tanako. Neither of them got the ball. Here's Ariarte. De Blasio back into Ariarte. Nice interchange between those two. Ariarte touched back towards De Blasio by Leshko. It's Balti Saunders, took a deflection. And the ball bouncing. Sadlotch, who cleared it. Caputo. And measly surrounded by white shirts. He ran it out himself. Ariarte. Gonzalez. Bagnato cross field. Villa got a knee on it. It's an awkward height for him. Driven ball up by the skipper, Aria. Avilés will chase after it. Calmly done between Bernhard and Christo Dolau. Bagnato. You can see that's why Met Oval was such a hard team to play on the high press, because they have that composure and then they break out of it and they have an overload. That wasn't the right switch though by Nelson Reynoso, and here comes Lazo down the other end for Monmouth. Lazo lashed it in at that near post, a lot of power. Tough angle to try and beat Christo Dolau though, and he was well positioned via end to end here early on at the Oval. And we've got the drums from Monmouth and the Vuvuzela from Met Oval. Good atmosphere too. The inaugural season of the League for Clubs has delivered so much to enjoy. I should mention, in the North East South Division as well, it's coming down to the final day. First State are going to take on Atlantic City, who've already qualified. But if First State win, they could leapfrog Kensington to take the final playoff spot. That will be at 7 p.m. tonight. Saunders, who's really been given a free roam. We listed him as the left wing, but he's floating around. Kasha. Nelson Reynoso, incoming freshman at St John's. He's got a wicked right foot, has scored 3 goals with it, and also got some super assists as well. Bernhard. Balti Saunders. That's a wonderful ball. Nelson Reynoso. One-on-one with Longo. Longo was patient in his defending. It'll be a throw in by the corner flag for the hosts. Gonzalez. Monmouth sitting deep, protecting their penalty area. Bernhard. Oleshko. Kasha. Saunders, bit of space for Reynoso on the right side. Balti Saunders works onto his left instead. Was shaping towards the top corner, ended up going well over the crossbar. Kasha meeting the first header. Goes straight to Sadlotch. He mishit that. Ariarte. Carlos Villa. Oleshko. Gets it back from De Blasio. And Oleshko had to take it quickly straight into the hands of Grossman. Really good give and go with De Blasio. It does feel a little bit like a goal is coming from Met Oval at the moment. They're finding their spaces, finding the gaps. Ariarte. Won by Lazo. Matt Oval felt as if it was a high foot. Referee didn't. Referee's been reticent to blow the whistle so far. Had the very early penalty shout for Matt Oval in the first minute. Unclear from here how much contact there was, but Oleszko certainly felt as if Crossman took him down. Kasha. Saunders. Floats it cross field. De Blasio. Kasha. Carlos Villa. Oleszko in the middle. Kasha lets it run. Aria well positioned to prevent that running to Saunders. And look at that for a press from Matt Oval, but Carlos Villa clattered into Caputo. The referee giving him a talking to. And Matt Oval, an old famous name in New York soccer. One of the most established clubs in US soccer. But this men's team, a revived men's team for them, new, this is their first season, the under-23s, and Monmouth, more recent outfit as well. These were founded in 2017, but quickly have established themselves as a powerhouse in New Jersey. And their record, Monmouth, really speaks for itself this season in the League for Clubs. Only unbeaten team in the North East Conference. The falls here to Noko, who whips it in. That was an interesting ball towards Avilés. Lost his footing. But didn't give up on it. Caputo to Noko. And Avilés took it quickly as it was fed into his path by Aria. Didn't quite connect. Really sharp football though. We're seeing beautiful combinations at either end. And whoever you support today, or if you're just a neutral, you just have to take a moment as well and just enjoy the quality of the game. We've already been treated to in these first 30 minutes, and well, I'm sure we're going to be treated to the remainder of this afternoon. Iriarte. Matt Oval are winning this midfield battle early on. Oleszko. Akers for Villa. Whoa, you thought for a second it was a really poor cross. Thought that was going behind the front post, but ended up being on frame and almost catching Grossman out. Grossman coming out, expecting that ball to be on the edge of his 6-yard box, had to scramble back, and it was hit with some pace by Carlos Villa. First corner kick of the afternoon. Andrea De Blasio will take. Swung towards the far post. Came off the shins of Gonzalez, who wasn't expecting it. And Joyce jumped in, the Monmouth centre-back. Didn't quite connect, and Gonzalez not set for it. Came off his shins. Fired up by Grossman. Carlos Villa. De Blasio. Iriarte. Saunders, who continues to float around. Kasha, uncharacteristically loose with possession, and then he's committed a foul, and he's going to go in the book. Kasha's first foul, but was a clumsy one, that's for sure. And the referee is clamping right down on that.
He's right there, don't worry. But maybe when he starts getting tired, 78th minute. I'm tired now.
Ariate wins that off of Aria, who was hoping for a free kick. Good covering by Sadlotcha, but Oleshko didn't give up on it. Oleshko still with it. He finds De Blasio. De Blasio and Saunders! A foot wide. Good chance for Met Oval. Saunders got the right connection, couldn't quite sneak it into that bottom left corner. Good win by Reynoso. It's otherwise been quite quiet early on, Nelson Reynoso. And Avilés going shoulder to shoulder, nearly yielding it in a very dangerous position for Monmouth. Kasha with evasive manoeuvres to clear out the box. Iriarte. The high temperatures so far not dulling the tempo of this finely balanced contest. Saunders, he's been all over the place for Met Oval so far. Saunders having the shot. He's pulling the strings early on. I think that's his third shot, excuse me, already. Yet to hit the target, but he's getting warmer, and a player of his quality eventually will hit the mark. But really interesting seeing the way Saunders is floating deeper at times. Helped up by Tinoco, and Tinoco's switched to the right side, and Avilés now down the centre. Monmouth beat Met Oval 3-0 when these sides met in the previous month in New Jersey. Spoke to both benches though, and both said didn't feel like a 3-0 game. It was much tighter in terms of the balance, but Monmouth ruthless and efficient with their counter-attacks. And so far that's been largely what Monmouth have been restricted to. Iriarte doing well with the short pass. Oleshko, Saunders, Reynoso has some space on the right side. White shirt steaming forwards, Reynoso drove it in, cleared out by Joyce. And that's one played out by Monmouth. Avilés is going to chase after this. Couldn't quite get his bearings. Bernhard does well to prevent it going out for a corner. And turns back. Really good work by TJ Bernhard. Kasha. Iriarte. Carlos Villa. De Blasio. Iriarte gets it back from De Blasio. He floats it up to Reynoso. That looked like it came off of a hand, and the linesman spotting that. Driven up towards Avilés. Cristo Dolau again as calm as ever. There's been a lot of rotation for Met Oval this season with the players. Quite a big squad they've brought, including with the goalkeeper, but the constant has been their style of play, and that really owing to almost all these players coming through the academy and being drilled, trained and taught the Met Oval mentality. Keep the ball at all costs. De Blasio has half a yard. Again, the accuracy a little wayward for Met Oval, but no lack of power. Ariate with that first header, de Blasio. Gives it back to Gonzalez. Ariate. Kasha. Villa. Also, no stat illustrates the rotation for Metovo as much as how many different goal scorers this season. Of their 31 goals they've scored this season, it's been from 16 different scorers. Oleshko, Matthew Ariate! The bombardment continues on Monmouth's goal, but they just cannot hit the target, Metovo. We're going to have the first water break here. Metovo on top. But the finish lacking for the hosts. Had 4 or 5 good chances in and around the 18-yard box. I think Monmouth will be grateful for this chance just to regroup. Oh, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back, everyone. Quick water break for the players. Again, sitting about 86 degrees, but I imagine that turf is warmer than that. Monmouth have got to find a way to cut these passing combinations Metovo are finding in their half. They were creating chances on the edge of the penalty area at will, Metovo, and they're shooting not the required quality to score, but it will happen if the frequency of the chances continue. Tinoco. Aviles, the danger man for Monmouth, tussling with Bagnato. Bagnato ended up winning the duel. Gonzalez. Here's Bernard. Villa. Bernard. Villa. De Blasio coming into the area. Andre de Blasio just about riding the tackle and into the side netting. Parks diving in precariously, given he didn't get the ball, but de Blasio opted to stay on his feet. Oleshko only able to head it to Longo. Aria. Parks. Hopeful knock up. Run wasn't made. Kasha. Ariate. Saunders. Ariate again. Kasha. Villa. Saunders. Ariate. Clever touch. De Blasio flicking it over the top very cutely. Saloccia with the header. Held forward by Parks, by Nato, Bernard, Kasha, Gonzalez a little heavy with his first touch, got away with it, and then that was a little flick of the arm by Lazo. I'm not sure if it was intentional in any sense. He's going to get a talking to by the referee, clumsy at the least. Bernard. Villa. Bernhard charging forwards. Well defended. There. I think by Tinoco, who came back. Monmouth Finland, they should have a free kick there, but instead it's going to be a corner kick.
I know you saw what I saw. I know you're doing a good job calming me down. You just horse calling like the NFL, dude.
Saunders will take this corner kick. He gives it short. Iriarte. Saunders towards the far post. Not the required ball. Too much on it. Reynoso, not a great throw out for Monmouth. De Blasio has the shot. De Blasio, stinging strike. Smart save by Grossman. That was moving. Relatively close to the keeper, but the speed of it was tremendous, and he had to get a really strong pair of hands to palm that away. Third corner kick on this side for Met Oval. De Blasio this time will conjure it up towards the near post, headed clear by Caputo. Kasha wins that header. And
The same guy.
then there's some pushing between Villa and Joyce, and it's starting to boil over the tempers. Not sure what sparked that reaction from Villa. And honestly, I'm not sure that was a good decision to give the free kick initially. I thought Kasha won it, but the reaction afterwards from Villa, I'm not sure why he was so cross. Maybe someone in a blue shirt said something, but he's added his name to the book.
Are you doing like MLS next games and stuff, and like you're gonna try to like move on and do all? You doing college games?
Driven up by Aria. Lazo. Closed down by Gonzalez. It'll be a Monmouth throw-in midway in Met Oval's half.
Good playing sucks, but there's not many good refs left. That's your generation still repping.
Aviles gets it back. He was stretching and lost his footing. Saunders brings that out well. And floats it out towards Carlos Villa. Marvellously done by Saunders. Kasha. Bernard. Iriarte. Kasha. De Blasio. Kasha once more. Iriarte again. Monmouth sitting perilously deep. Iriarte. De Blasio. Closed down by Tinoco. Iriarte heading up. Carlos Villa on the edge. It's De Blasio. De Blasio, magnificent block by Parks. Villa, it's a siege at the moment from Met Oval on Monmouth's penalty area. Bernhard dinks it in. Big gather by Grossman. And Monmouth can grab their breath. They have been thoroughly dominated so far. Matt Oval controlling almost all the possession, and most of this contest so far been played in Monmouth's half, and indeed towards the edge of their penalty area. But Monmouth have so much quality. A reminder, they really punished Matt Oval on the counter-attack when these teams last met. Carlsfield's got to be a little careful here. He's on a yellow. Salocha, Parks, Aviles, or Capucho, excuse me. Good win by Bernhard. Saunders right in the tackle. Iriarte. He was dispossessed and then a crunching tackle from Gonzalez, but that was certainly a foul. Came in right through the back of Lazo. Or into the back of Aviles even, excuse me. Sent out towards Lazo. Caputo. It's a dangerous ball. It's set back on the edge. Homowitz mishit his strike, and Matt Oval can play out and perhaps look to break. Monmouth back quickly with numbers. Here's Balti Saunders over the top towards Oleshko. He's got lots of pace to him, but too much on that pass. And Grossman off his line, policing his penalty area well. Dolau off his line, clearing it. Saunders dispossesses Longo. Balti Saunders didn't catch that one right. Very comfortable for Grossman. Matt Oval must be approaching 10 shots in this first half though. Aria. Longo. Jimmy, here's Longo. Gives it back to Joyce. Joyce, that's a good ball. Little clip, the referee's going to play the advantage. Aria fizzes it up towards Aviles. Magnato with the defending. Kasha. Clears it out. Joyce. Helped on Aviles. Tanoko couldn't quite get his feet set. Tanoko doing well to win the throw-in for Monmouth out of that. Parks whips it in. That's a clever touch. Caputo saved. Caputo again whips it back in. Huge chance for Monmouth, arguably the biggest for either side of this game. And Christodoulou was down so quickly with that stop. Met Oval's defence unlocked by the quick interchange. Caputo was stretching, but got good contact on it. Christodoulou down very smartly. And that's what Monmouth can do to you. Penned in their own half, but they have that quality in the final third. They just need a little bit of possession up there and they can punish, and they very nearly did there. Bernhard, Kasha, Saunders, That will be a foul. Lasso clipping his heels. Saunders and Kasha are over this. Too far out, I think, for shooting range. Team's pretty equivalent in terms of height. They've both got two very big players. Oleshko, the tallest man in the box for Met Oval. Saunders gives it short. Iriarte, not a brilliant ball, comes to de Blasio. Villa. De Blasio. Hooks it in. Too much on the cross. That's lots of praise has to be given for Met Oval's possession game and their ability to create chances in the final third. But at the same time, you've got to criticise their wastefulness in those positions. Should have at least a goal at this point, probably two. But that final finish, at times the final ball lacking. Oleshko. De Blasio. Floats it cross field. Too much on it for Reynoso. Bagnato. Iriarte. Fortunate to keep possession there. Nelson Reynoso sends it in. Oleshko was stretching. He wasn't far away from a finishing touch. Ended up coming into the hands of Grossman. Reynoso, a master of that whipped ball in. Joyce. Parks. Homowitz down with Iriarte. It's taken quickly and Avilés had a shove in the back of Bagnato. Bagnato. Bernard. Iriarte. Saunders. Bernard. De Blasio into Iriarte. Saunders. Lazy from the number 7.
End it, ref. You hear the terminology?
Aria.
End it. You know what that means? End the counter-attack.
Sent over the top by Longo. That's straight into the hands of Cristo Dolau.
It's me to you. I'm not making a mockery of the game.
Villa. Kasha. Oleshko. Iriarte. Bit of space for Villa. Villa towards Oleshko. Important punch by Grossman. The Ukrainian was waiting eagerly behind him.
Make it Coutinho too. I'll take that.
Kasha. Sun temporarily behind some clouds. De Blasio overcomplicated it and lost it. Bagnato with a good step. And then he got caught a little late there. And be a free kick. And Aviles will go in the book.
Hey, ref.
I'll accept it, but I did go for the ball.
Hey, ref. Hey, ref, do me a favor. Ref, do me a favor, man.
Ref, come on, man. You can't just ignore it, do it.
Can I talk to him? I'm sitting in my seat. I'm not causing any.
Talk to me.
Let me see.
Lay the beating on me.
But you guys don't have the headsets, ref. When they say end it means end the counterattack, meaning tactical foul. Just so you know.
Kasha. Iriarte. Villa. Iriarte, the game continued to follow this familiar pattern. Reynoso. De Blasio. Low. Set up by Sadlotcha. Kasha. That header cut out by Caputo. Kasha on the second. De Blasio returns it to Kasha. Bernard. De Blasio. Carlos Villa. And Alesko. That's a magnificently timed tackle by Joyce. Had to get that just right in the 18-yard box. And Bagnato gives it back to Christodoulou. To approach the half-time whistle. It's goalless here, and Monmouth at the moment remaining in pole position on the final day of regular season in the League for Clubs. The playoffs coming next week. Reynoso, one player down. Nelson Reynoso still with it. Reynoso tried to take on one too many defenders. Bagnato with that first head, and Aviles just lost his bearing in the jump. Kasha. Bernard. Fires into Villa, who controls it well. Iriarte. Draws it towards Nelson Reynoso. Villa. Floats it in. Headed clear by Parks. Hooked up by Caputo. And Bagnato with a really good header. Reynoso will get a throw-in for Met Oval. 1 minute left of normal time. Obviously, we're going to have a bit of stoppage time for the water break. And we're getting 3 minutes of additional time from the fourth official. Bernard. Kasha. Bolty Saunders. Iriarte will drill out to De Blasio. How many times has he found in this position? Can he capitalise? De Blasio down to the byline towards the far post. Went over the whole pack. Reynoso is back there, hooks it back in. Alesko. The ball was popped up. He couldn't generate a lot of power on it. Wasn't going to be on target anyway, and Aviles can try and relieve some pressure here for Monmouth. I think Laszlo hit that. Bernard. De Blasio. Monmouth just waiting for that half-time whistle. They've been hanging on here at the Oval. Iriarte. Saunders picks up the seconds. Alesko spins. Sashi Alesko is marvellous. Alesko cannoned off of Sadlotcha, and then it came off of Alesko's hand on the bounce. He skinned two defenders there, but Sadlotcha covering well. Monmouth's faithful travelling section has kept that drum going throughout this first half. Reynoso winning the first header. Kasia. Oleszko. Saunders, back heel to Kasia. Iriarte. Kasia crossfield, it's a good ball. De Blasio, via on his overlap. De Blasio. Oleszko. Iriarte. Not enough pass. No, not enough weight, excuse me, on that pass to Nelson Reynoso. Saunders. Kasia. Bernard. Floats it crossfield, tried to force that ball, not the right option. Lovely touch by Aviles. And there was a gap on that right side, you know, for Caputo. Wasn't exploited. Saunders, this is probably the last attack of this half. Reynoso, 1-on-1 with Longo. Reynoso, I presume, was going for the shot there, well wide. And that's the end of a first half, which Met Oval have dominated, but failed to capitalise on. Frustration for the home side. They need that victory to snatch first place from Monmouth on the final day here in the league for clubs. Everything there except for the finishing touch. And Monmouth, although they spent most of that time camped on their penalty area, did create a few chances, and arguably the best of the half when Caputo brought out a very smart save at point blank from Kisto Dolau. A lot left to be written here at the Oval. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back shortly with the second half.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Oval. It appears neither team changed at half time. Sure we'll see them soon enough. It's a very hot day here in Queens. It's a big 90 minutes for both these sides. A reminder, Monmouth at the moment sitting 3 points clear of Met Oval at the top of the Northeast. And going into the playoffs with that top seed, and they will host the playoffs. But Met Oval, if they win, will snatch it from them on the final day. And they certainly created the chances to take the lead in that first half, Met Oval. They were wasteful with the shooting. And Monmouth did create a very good chance midway through the half. That's drew a smart save from Christo Dolau.
These guys are old enough to be fathers. I got 7, 4, and 1.5. It's always, they're just kids. Calm the fuck down.
Despite all that, it's still level and goalless here. That'd be the biggest shock of all if this ended 0-0, given the amount of goals both of these teams have scored this season. 58 between them, each having played 9 games. But that breakthrough still yet to come here. Met Oval totally dominated possession in that first half, and Monmouth opted to sit deep on the edge of their penalty area with that low block, mainly affording Met Oval chances on the edge of the penalty area, but still some dangerous ones. The shooting wasn't quite there. I have to say, from my uneducated perspective, I don't think it's necessarily sustainable for Monmouth if the flow continues in the way it did that first half. Eventually Met Oval, probability-wise, will finish one of the chances. Also, you've got to give credit to Monmouth when they had to do last-minute, desperate defensive tackles or saves. They came up good every time. Look at that, playing out from the back from Met Oval under the tightest of squeezes. Saunders, Nelson Reynoso, Villa, not the right pass back to Saunders. The Monmouth drums continuing to beat from their supporter section that's travelled from New Jersey. Bagnato, Iriarte. Villa. De Blasio spinning. He saw a lot of the ball in that first half, De Blasio. His switch not quite heavy enough, and Longo doing well with it. And then that's a push in the back. I thought by Ivelez, the referee not calling up. It's Lenny Avilés over the crossbar. The linesman was very well positioned, and the fourth official neither seeing it as a free kick, and there was a decent chance for Avilés there. Bagnato and Sensi didn't get a foul. On first viewing, looked like one to me. Thought there was a little arm in the back of Met Oval centre back. Would have been very controversial had that gone in. Villa. Iriarte. Him and Kasha pulling the strings in the centre of the park in that first half. Saunders. Slots it through. Reynoso. He slightly misjudged the pace of that passing behind Reynoso, and you could see he had to realign his run. Didn't get the cross he wanted because of it. Good step by Gonzalez. Iriarte. Saunders. Bolty Saunders! Oh, he shaved the post there. He's licked the paint off of it. Didn't have much to aim for. Had to get it past the hefty frame of Joyce, but he very nearly bent it in. But still, no dice for Met Oval. Iriarte. Caputo. Avilés. Avilés looking to force his way through. Couldn't get past the last white shirt. Iriarte. You can see the threat Monmouth are constantly carrying on that counter-attack though. Villa. De Blasio. Let's go in the middle at the moment. De Blasio checked for now. Back to Iriarte. He looked for a canny dink over the top. Hooked clear by Parks. Kasha with the first header. De Blasio. Kasha. Villa. It's Balti Saunders again. Reynoso on his overlap. Saunders onto his left foot. Kasha. Oh, let's go! Reynoso! Oh, it just won't go in for Met Oval. Heart-wrenching moment. Almost playing it laterally across the 6-yard box. No one could find the finish. Bernard. Villa. Surely the goal has to come if this carries on. Reynoso's head in his hands. Just the final touch. Monmouth defenders, goalkeepers diving in left, right and centre, doing their manful best to deny the opportunity, and they did just enough. And Saunders let it run away from him. Corner kick. Saunders towards the near post. It comes on the edge. Gonzalez stopped, and it's off the line. And then Iriarte's gone down. The referee waves away, and Monmouth might be on the counter attack here. Avilés, one-on-one with Kasha. Lenny Avilés, he's hard to stop. Kasha gets a foot, and what a tackle that is. It comes on the edge. Worked down the far side. Oh, the pass was poor. Aria was all by himself there. You cannot take your eyes off of this one. But once again, it's nothing short of a miracle. Met Oval didn't finish that. Is this just going to be one of those afternoons for Met Oval? They still got a lot of time, but it's starting to feel like it. Bernard again, no sense of panic from Met Oval, even when they're close to their goal line. They play out from the back with brilliant composure. De Blasio. Villa. Reynoso! Bulldozed in. Couldn't keep over it. Well, the first half felt one-sided for Met Oval. In terms of their chances created, it's even more so that they've really found some good clear chances in these first 7.5 minutes of the half. But mind you, Monmouth looking more dangerous in the break, and that's going to continue to increase, you imagine, that threat, because Met Oval are going to have to push further and further forwards with the numbers. Coach John Burklow is going to make his first change. Kasha is going to be withdrawn. Blanco, a like-for-like switch. Very technical, very clever centre midfielder. Once again, a pleasure to watch Kasha out there. He's got a very bright future ahead of him, the 19-year-old. Aria drives it crossfield. It's a good ball. Lazo, one-on-one with Reynoso. And he's been hauled down there by Reynoso. That's going to be a free kick and a good crossing position from Monmouth. Two in Christo Dolau's wall. Aria will take this. Whips it towards the frame, and look at that handling by Christo Dolau. Especially with blue shirts rushing at him. Villa, you cannot take your eyes off this one. Top speed in the league for clubs. Northeast, hanging on a knife edge between these two sides. Iriarte. Drills it crossfield. Obviously a big factor as we move towards the final stages of this game is going to be the fatigue as well, with the heat these players have played in. Monmouth have had to chase the ball a lot more. How will that affect things? Iriarte. Oleshko. Not the right pass. It does come back to Bernard. Oleshko. Tried to do a reverse ball into de Blasio. Not the right pass. Bernard, lovely touch by him, but then Iriarte's shown too much of that to Caputo. Avilés, Lazo onto his left foot. Wild strike, took a deflection, corner kick for Monmouth. If Monmouth can find a goal, will give them a tight grip on that first seed spot. Aria again to deliver. The last one was dangerous. Swings it in. Free header off the crossbar. Centimetres away from a Monmouth opener. I think it was Sadlocha there who connected with it. The cleanest of connections. Must have thought he did enough to score. So unfortunate. A great rise from the centre-back. Blanco. Homowitz. We've had enough chances for 2 goals at either end in this second half already. But still, inexplicably, it's goalless. Aria. Too much on it for Caputo. Bernard. De Blasio not on the same wavelength. It's a good advantage by the referee. Aria. Good awareness by the skipper. Searching for Caputo, and Gonzalez did well there to shepherd that one. And I think the offside flag might have been up, or perhaps a referee spotting a little push on the back. Oh, Gonzalez. Bagnato. Blanco gets it back from Saunders. Both benches warming up actively. We'll see some more changes soon, I imagine. Just Metoval making the one so far. Colsvia Cortez. Iriarte. Villa. Not a good cross at all. He was asking for a touch. And maybe I couldn't see from this angle. Fired up, Bagnato is challenging with Aviles, just let that one run all the way back. Iriarte. Villa. Bernard. You can hear Coach Burklow urging Matt Oval to be patient with the ball. They've still got lots of time. Balti Saunders. What can he deliver? It's Matthew Iriarte. Has a shot. Took a deflection. Villa! Just past the far post. Actually, I say just past. It's ended up going out for a throw in by the corner flag. Looked for a second as if it might be sneaking by. It was a very, very acute angle. Be a throw right by the corner flag. FC Monmouth. Oh, down the line. Blanco winning the first header. Lazo hooks it clear. Cortez keeping his composure. Gets it back to Christo Dolau. Blanco. Reynoso. Iriarte. De Blasio. Carlos Villa. De Blasio again. Andre De Blasio coming into the area. De Blasio. Weaving tricky run, but not the right finish. Half an hour remaining at the Oval. Monmouth still holding on here. You know, actually, I think that drum misattributed it. I think that drum actually is Met Oval today. You can see it's got quite clearly got the white symbol. Worked up by Tanoko, and Caputo tried to return it to him. Bagnato. Saunders. Carlos Villa. Iriarte. Oleshko. Gonzalez. Saunders dinks it up. Cortez was sniffing around back line. Too much on it, and gathered by Grossman. Reminder, FC Monmouth have not failed to score this season, and Met Oval have not failed to score at home this season. And this has been one of the more exciting 0-0s I can remember, but still it's goalless here, despite a flurry of chances. Gonzalez with a positive step. Saunders. It's Reynoso. Reynoso! Breakthrough at last for Met Oval. And it's Nelson Reynoso with the bullet. He's been one of the players of the season for Met Oval this campaign. And he may have delivered the decisive moment in regular season. He found the space, brilliant footwork, tucked it in, absolutely no chance for Grossman. Nelson Reynoso with his 4th goal of the Liga Club season. It may be his most pivotal one yet. And you can't say any fairer than that with the number of chances Met Oval have created. Coach Bucklow is going to make his second change. Oleshko withdrawn. Carlo Brown, who's a recent addition to the roster, in his stead. And Monmouth are going to make their first changes shortly. Or change at least. But that totally changes the complexion now of the League for Clubs North East Conference. Met Oval now sit top of the table on this final day of regular season. Monmouth level on points with them, level on goal difference with them, but the next tiebreaker, goals, they are behind on. Monmouth must draw this back level if they're going to go into the playoffs first seed. Otherwise, it's going to be hosted here at the Oval. Nathaniel Aveski is going to come on. Lazo withdrawn. Oh, down the line, Avilés, Bernard, Villa. With the temperatures what they are, you imagine if Met Oval can find that second, it probably put this to bed. Monmouth have had to spend so much time chasing that ball, expended so much energy. But this is a top quality side, unbeaten in 9 games, all 9 games in the League for Clubs. They can certainly pull this out, but Reynoso has other ideas, surging forwards. Tried to take on blue shirts in 3s and 4s there, and the 4th stopped him. Blanco. Bagnato. Iriarte, got to be careful with it. And that's a very soft free kick. And a let off for Matthew Iriarte. I didn't see a lot of contact behind him from Caputo. Blanco. Iriarte. Carlos Villa. Brown, not the right pass. Hat cleared by Parks. Bernard couldn't quite keep that in. Imagine we're going to get our water break imminently. That's a really good flick on by Avilés. For a second I thought just slightly too much pace on it. And Christodoulou off his line quickly. Blanco. And whoever ends up going to the North East Playoffs top seed, it's a very safe bet that these teams could meet in the final. They will go against the top 2 of the South Division of the North East. Atlantic City will definitely be first place. Kensington and First State is yet to be decided. First State are going to play away against Atlantic City this evening. If they win that First State, then they will leapfrog Kensington and take the second place spot and play the first place team from this division, which right now is Met Oval. Balti Saunders, Iriarte, Saunders, Blanco, Stolo. A second change being prepared for Monmouth, a third for Met Oval. Obedo Poku will be on shortly, and I believe Poku is actually a player we've seen before on Game and Frame at the Tiro Sports World Cup, a previous edition. Bernard, not a good pass by him. Villa, let's intercept. De Blasio. De Blasio still. De Blasio! Well wide. Just cut across that strike, and I think that's going to be his final action of the game, De Blasio.
Let's go.
Cyrus Kleinenberg, who's scored last week at home against Kingston, will replace De Blasio. And both sides are also being summoned for the water break. Well guys, whilst we have this pause, let me remind you, we're sponsored by Tlfc, who made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. If you scan the QR code, you can get 10% off. And also Met Oval, would like to thank their sponsors, La Casita Mexicana, the best Mexican restaurant north of the border. You can mention Met Oval to get 5% off your next visit. And also Met Oval would like to thank Positive Sports Therapy, where champions end pain and get their lives back. Mention Met Oval for 15% off your next visit.
Going to left back. He's going to join the attack from the left back spot. We're not going inverted with Tinoco. He's just going to go and help out Tlfc on the left wing. Okay? We're not in close possession anyway, so let's try to fucking get on the ball. Let's be fucking balls about it. Let's go hold these right wings, utilize them, square one, get a fucking tap in already. Come on. Let's go. I know, but we go. Do you want to go to
They're gonna come in pictures. Wait for them. When they come back in,
hold on before I make huge canvas. Just wait a minute.
So it looks like Obed Apoko has gone to the right wing. So Tanako is now at left back. Tanako, excuse me. Longo has been withdrawn. Well, Monmouth have 20 minutes, give or take, to retrieve their top seed in the North East Conference. Commanding header in the middle for Met Oval. I think they might have made another change as well in the centre of the park. They brought off Iriarte. We'll see in a second who's come on. It's Misa Zarets who's come on. Kleinberg is going to get this here. Cuts it in, cut out of that near post. Kleinberg again. Really composed defending by Sadloccia, who, don't forget, hit the crossbar just 5 minutes before Met Oval found the lead. Right back to Christodoulou. Here goes Met Oval, it's Carlo Brown. Corner kick. So it looks like Zarets has gone alongside Blanco. So it's still the same shape for Met Oval. I wonder if they will shift a bit more of a defensive positioning as we move towards these final stages. Jason Arujo, who's a defender, is coming on shortly. That might facilitate it. We're going to get an in-swinger here. Floated in it, went through a lot of bodies. No one got a touch on it. Gonzalez refused to let it go out for a throw and instead goes out for a goal kick. Decent delivery by Kleinenberg. Villa will make way for Arujo. And he will hand the armband off to Bolty Saunders. And it's going to be a straight positional switch. Arujo, excuse me, is going to go onto that left flank. There's Obed Apoko, very pacey, direct attacking player, loves to drive at his man 1v1. Tanoko. That's a good ball. Aria tried to cut back. It will come off of Gonzalez. Corner kick. Their set pieces have been troublesome for Met Oval. Aria again will serve it up. The last one was clattered off the crossbar by Sadlocha. Big moments here in the season. Sadlocha again, it's a decent ball in, headed at the near post by Zaretsas. Parks has got the long throw in his repertoire here. He's going to hold this into the penalty area. Everyone back for Met Oval as they try and defend this narrow lead. Bouncing around, hat clear by Blanco. Tanoko dinks it back into the danger area. There's a tug on the back of Araujo. Linesman signalled. Araujo. Split it between Kleinenberg and Brown. A little awkward here for Bernard, but he dealt with it well. Kleinenberg held onto it a fraction too long. Obeda Poku got impeded by Araujo. Another change being made here for Met Oval. Saunders is going to now hand that armband off, having only received it a moment ago from Carlos Villa. And just hearing Coach Boklo giving his team the instruction, change of shape now, 5-2-3. So the wing-back's going to sit deeper. Chris Sullivan will replace Saunders. Here comes the free kick. Big header out by Brown. Blanco. Now it's Met Oval's turn to be penned into their half. About 14 minutes of normal time remaining, but again, with the water break, we're going to have some stoppage time, definitely. I'd imagine at least 3 minutes. Bernard helping his teammates out. Kept in by Kleinenberg. You can see there's some heavy legs out there, and you cannot blame anyone. The temperatures these players have played in and the tempo of the game as well. It's been a joy to watch. Sullivan with his first touch. Bernard. Kleinenberg. Araujo. Couldn't slot that into Brown. Good step by Sadlocha. Aviles being judged to have impeded Bagnato. You can hear what Monmouth thought of that. Did look very soft. Anthony Perez will be on shortly for Monmouth. It's approaching time to throw the kitchen sinker, this one. Gonzalez. Sullivan. Floats it cross field. Araujo sends it in. Kleinenberg onto his right foot. Kleinenberg and Brown. Magnificent tackle. It's Sullivan. And it's 2-0 Met Oval. And it's surely top seed in the league for clubs, North East Conference. Super sub. Chris Sullivan with an immediate impact.
chance to talk to the center rep. Just tell him
And it is a mountain for Monmouth to climb now. They've got to find 2 goals in 11 minutes.
Listen, if you want to take this guy off, delay this one, then you can do the for the other one.
Eric!
Because as the game goes on, it's going to happen more.
Sullivan scoring just moments after coming on. One introduction, and that might be the dagger. That's a reckless tackle there by Bagnato. He's going to be very fortunate not to go in the book. Really poorly timed. In that interval, Anthony Perez came on. For Monmouth. Again, this doesn't end their season, doesn't end their chance of being crowd champions of the North East. They could well meet Met Oval in the final, but it does determine who's going to host these playoffs and who goes in with the bragging rights from the regular season and who will be top seed. At the moment, it's Met Oval, certainly theirs to lose now. Floated in. Good head out. The goal comes now for Monmouth. We're back to a nail-biting finale. Homowich will deliver. Swings it in. It's another good delivery. Bouncing around. Just wouldn't go in for Monmouth. Again, Sadloch, who's been a menace on these set pieces, met it. Couldn't reject on the target this time at the top of his leap. Fired in by Parks. Bagnato looking for a foul, not getting it. Caputo, Apoku. Caputo again. There'll be another corner kick for Monmouth. Outswinger, that's the first poor set piece we've seen from Monmouth today, but at a critical time when they needed a good one. I felt like it might just not happen for Met Oval, despite all the chances, especially that first 15 minutes of the second half, where twice goalmouth scrambles in the 6-yard box, woodwork kit, clearances off the line, and still it just would not go in. But they have found that breakthrough and then doubled the lead in these last 25 odd minutes. And they're very close to taking that top seed and also getting revenge for Monmouth's defeat against them in New Jersey. Grossman drills it up. Not the best of distribution. Here's Carlo Brown. That's a good touch. Carlo Brown. He was stopped at the 11th hour. And Tlfc worked out well by Sadloch, and then a crunching tackle, bone shattering, can feel the impact from it. Blanco has had a bite at moments this game, and then Reynoso hanging in a leg.
Hey, Eric, we're still in the playoffs. Eric, we're still in the playoffs. Don't forget that, we're still in the playoffs.
Back up, 11, back up, sir. Yep, back up.
And Monmouth coach just reminding his players they are still in the playoffs, so no need to get unnecessary cards later on from frustration. They will get another crack perhaps at this Met Oval side. They won't face each other in the semis, but with the fantastic records of both these teams in regular season, you wouldn't be a brave man to predict that it will be these two in the final who meet. And Monmouth can try and get their revenge then. I think the referee's going to give this as a free kick. Tried to give an advantage, wasn't there. Which with this delivery. Floated in. Went through all the bodies. Apoku will keep it in. Big shout by Christodoulou, and he'll gather. Met Oval nearing the finish line. This talented young group of players once again proving their mettle under pressure. Kleinenberg. Brown. Akers for Reynoso on the right side. He's found by Brown. Reynoso teasing it across. Cleared out. Worked out towards that left side. Gonzalez has got to keep his wits about him. But another. Good bit of goalkeeping for Met Oval. Here comes Met Oval again. It's lovely footwork by Brown, who's made a good impression since coming on, just behind Sullivan. Sullivan, there's a clever first touch and he drew in the contact from behind by Perez. 3.5 minutes remaining of normal time. Probably 4 or 5 minutes, I'd think, with the stoppages we have had here. Sullivan. Gonzalez. Once again, no panic under extreme pressure in the back line. Bernard is going to surge forwards. Akers for Reynoso. Bernard overran it. Blanco. Finally, Reynoso will get it. Sullivan on his overlap. Nelson Reynoso onto his left foot. Sullivan. Sullivan still, and Brown saved at point blank by Grossman to give Monmouth the slice of chances still. Bagnato. Helped on inside, and that was too heavy for Alvarez, who I think was entitled to go for that ball, but he clattered Christodoulou late. I think what we just heard from the fourth official is we're looking at about 3 minutes of additional time. Might be more now with Christodoulou down. Bernard. Driven crossfield, Reynoso has space here. He's got Sullivan and Brown with him. Reynoso and Brown. Beautiful teasing ball in by Reynoso. The finish not right by Carlo Brown. Met Oval are also going to complete with this victory their 100% win record at home. They're going to be formidable playoff hosts, and Reynoso got caught totally accidentally by Avanescu as he went in for the jump. And that was a real contact there. I could hear that. And he's going to get attention by the trainer. Monmouth unhappy they can't take that throw in quickly, but the referee, I think, had no choice there. When it's an impact like that, to check on the player. And Reynoso allowed back onto the field. Aviles, he was gripped closely by Zaretsets. Or Zaretsets even, excuse me. Well, if Monmouth tuck this away, it will be probably too little too late, but we might be in for a nail-biting final few minutes of stoppage time. So as good a shooting position as any for Sam Tinoco, who's the undisputed taker of this free kick. 3 in the wall for Christodolo. Tinoco, well over the crossbar, and that is probably that. Bernard. Sullivan lost his footing. One back by Perez. Caputo flicking it on. It comes back to Monmouth. Joyce. Salocha, that's a good ball. Anaveski. Anaveski still. That ball cut out. It's a snapshot for Tinoco. Look at what that tackle means for Bagnato. Threw his all into it. Stopped a certain goal back from Monmouth. I should mention this will be, if Met Oval hang on without conceding, their first clean sheet at home as well. Pull by Joyce, heavy legs that Gonzalez, crunching tackle. It's back with Monmouth. Floated in, headed out by Gonzalez. Kleinenberg. He's going to look for an extraordinarily ambitious shot. Must be 60 yards out there. I'd imagine about 90 seconds remaining here. Good leap by Bernard. Flicked on by Reynoso. Salocha. Heavy first touch, and then Reynoso smashing it off of the legs of Homowitz.
That's it. Enough.
Yo, I wouldn't be celebrating when you need guys, knock it out. You know better. You know better than this. Hey, knock it out. That's it.
We're getting a bit of a chatter between the players. Monmouth, their message quite clear. We'll see you in the final if you make it there, and we will be back for our recompense. There's a push off the ball there. Doesn't matter. It's full time. Met Oval seize pole position on the final day in the North East Conference. They take it from Monmouth at the 11th hour. It was a captivating game from start to finish. Met Oval dominated much of it, but that goal took a while to come. Eventually Reynoso tucked it in midway through the second half. That was shortly followed by Sullivan, scoring right off the bench. Bit of after still between the players. But overall, a super game of football. Really enjoyable to watch. Two very high quality teams. And don't bet against them meeting again in the final. But Met Oval will have the pleasure of hosting the Leaper Clubs North East playoffs here at the Oval, this historic ground. And they pull out the bag. Another home victory. But Monmouth will rue some of their missed chances. They created some really good ones. When it was 0-0 in the first half, drew a very good save from Christodolo and hit the crossbar off a bullet header by Sad Lotcha. That was just a few moments before Met Oval took the lead. So although Met Oval dominated much of the possession with the chances, it could have gone the other way. And we're going to have 4 brilliant teams in the league for the club's North East playoffs, but on paper, none two better than these, and we'd be lucky if we see them in the final. Well, guys, that just about does it for us here at the Oval, but we will see if we can get ourselves a post-match interview with someone from Met Oval. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game and Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hey guys, I'm here with Chris Sullivan, Nelson Reynoso, Giuseppe Bagnato and Matthew Uriarte. Guys, firstly, amazing shift, really hot weather. You're playing against a very good side, top of the table clash. What does it mean to take pole position on the final day? I'll start with you, Chris.
I think it means everything. I mean, we really wanted that home playoff game, so coming in this game, that's all we wanted. So we were going to win no matter what, whatever we had to do.
Nelson, it was starting to feel like one of those afternoons for you guys. You had so many chances and it just wasn't hitting the back of the net. Did you believe you were going to find that breakthrough eventually?
Yeah, I knew eventually, you know, the way we play, they don't touch the ball at all. As long as we keep playing, one of them was going to happen, and it came. And then usually once one comes, they all just come.
You took yours very nicely. You got it on the edge of the area. You still had a lot of work left to do. What was going through your head when you received it?
Honestly, nothing. But, yeah, I guess it just happened.
Instincts. Bagnato, first clean sheet at home. That was a big part of this victory as well. What was the key to you guys defensively shutting out this Monmouth side, which have not failed to score this season?
I think a big thing was our rest defense. You know, at times throughout other games, that's where we get caught out. You know, but our main goal was to keep a clean sheet. You know, as we say, defense wins championships. So you know, that's our main goal now. You know, win it all.
You made that late tackle, a really good block. Saw you let out just a howl of joy. How much does this victory mean to you?
It means everything. You know, obviously, it means everything. Medal obviously means a lot for me. You know, I grew up here, so, you know, to play for this club is something that I don't think a lot of people can say, you know. So, you know, yeah, it means everything.
Matthew, you and Kasia are like Xavi and Iniesta in there. Yeah, partly because you're short, but mainly because you're great technical players. You're both a joy to watch. What do you think it says, though, about the fact that you can switch in, you know, Blanco can come off the bench and you can make the subs and still you guys can just really control that possession?
Yeah, we got high-quality players, like, throughout our bench and everything. Everyone's super technical, so whenever we play, whoever's playing, we're going to win. That's what we feel like.
Fantastic. Lastly, I'll just go through all of you. How excited are you for the playoffs? You may meet Monmouth again. You're going to face someone else in the same spot. How much are you looking forward to those?
Can't wait to see him again. I want to play him.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. I want to see him again.
Yeah, agreed. Right.
Well, I think as a neutral, you're going to have 4 good teams in the final. But if you guys meet Monmouth, you two, this regular season have been the best of the conference. That would be an incredible final. Guys, amazing shift.
Thank you so much.
I know how hard it was with the temperature, and you guys played beautiful football again. It's a joy to watch you. Hope you can get a shower, hope you get a rest, and we'll see you guys very soon. All right, we'll see if we can get Coach John Buckler as well in a second, guys. Honestly, I'm a little bit overheated from today, and I've just stood still and blown a lot of hot air out of my mouth, but it's very hot conditions here today. Here we've got Coach John Buckler. Coach, congrats on the victory. You guys really dominated the possession. The chances were coming, but the goal wasn't. Was it starting to feel like this just isn't our day, or did you always believe?
No, to be honest, this was the game I expected. And I just felt that, like, if we weren't creating chances, then I'd be a little bit worried. But for me, we created enough in the first half to have probably gotten one. And for me, they looked like they were fatiguing in the heat and how much running they were having to do. So I just felt like it was a little bit of just waiting for the moment, right? So to be honest, this is what we talked about at halftime, was continuing to be patient and not feeling like we have to try shots from anywhere just because we feel this need. So really, really pleased with the boys. It was exactly the way we drew it up. So yeah, awesome.
What was your message to them at halftime? Because as you said, dominating possession, it looked like a goal was coming. But it's a hot day, it's hard to maintain the quality in this heat. The temperatures were starting to flare between the teams, so you've got 2 very good competitive teams. That's inevitable to happen. So what was your message at halftime?
No, the halftime message was, the first thing we talked about is, guys, just be patient. Like, we need to keep doing what we're doing because they're going to wilt. Okay? It's always harder to defend than it is to attack from a pure physical perspective. So for us, it was keep doing what we're doing, and don't start taking half chances. All right? Because it was a bit like, there was moments, it was almost like we were trying to walk it in the net, and then there was moments where it was too early. So finding the right balance between the chance creation that we wanted, and then we walked through 3 different moments where we thought we could create a chance tactically. And then the third thing is we knew they were going to try to play on the counter. That's what hurt us the last time we played them. So it was just re-emphasizing the need with our rest defending to make sure that we could be in a place to kill any counter as they tried to break. So
Yeah, you guys' first clean sheet at home, and against a very good Monmouth attack. You guys made, as always, you made quite a lot of subs. Once again, a sub coming off the bench, making a goal, and the other 2 were involved in it. Again, how much of a testament is it to the Met Oval program that you can make these changes and almost nothing changes?
No, I mean, the work the previous coaches have done, obviously I'm new here, so the work the previous coaches have done is absolutely unreal. And the depth that we have for guys to be able to come in. Quite frankly, I agonized over the roster because I left really good players off the 18. I agonized over the roster the whole week. So the guys that did play today, I'm thrilled with them. They showed up, they did the business, and now on to the playoffs.
So as I understand, with the playoffs, you guys will be hosting both of them.
We'll host the semifinal, and of course, if we win, then yes, we'll host the final. So the semi on the 16th, and hopefully we're in the final on the 19th as well.
If you guys do make the final, it's a safe bet that Monmouth could be there. Obviously, it's 4 good teams going into the conference, but you and Monmouth have been head and shoulders in regular season. I can hear all the players are like, we'll see you next time. You guys have both won, obviously you have to look at the next game, but is there a good rivalry? You know, how much do you enjoy playing a team like Monmouth?
No, I mean, Hugh and I played together growing up. So in college in USL League 2, the old PDL, him and I played together, so we've known each other for years. So, and we haven't seen each other since those years. So it's been really good actually catching up with Hugh and talking with him about where his family is and my family and talking football. So, you know, I've got a great relationship with Hugh. Obviously on the field it gets a little bit heated, but it should, right? You know, it's not fun if it's not. So
yeah, well, it's a fantastic spectacle. Congratulations on 100% at home, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for the playoffs.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
All right, take care.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys, that just about does it for us here at Met Oval. They pull out the bag, they complete the 100% win record, and on the final day, they take the top spot in the League for Clubs Northeast Conference. So as Coach Bucklow was saying, that means Met Oval will now host the semi-final. They'll be back here on the 16th, so that's going to be Wednesday night. We still need to decide exactly, or hear exactly when that kickoff time will be. That will, I imagine, be determined shortly, but probably evening, I would guess. But stay tuned to our Instagram, Met Oval's Instagram, for all of that information. And then if Met Oval win, then they will host the final here at Met Oval again on the weekend. But a big thank you to JP Zakato for doing great work behind the camera in the heat. Thank you to Met Oval for bringing us down here once again. Thank you to our sponsor, Salt Athletic. Thank you to all of you for watching. This is Josh Pratt signing off from the Oval. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, everyone.